So ready for the questions. So first question here is it possible to attach a single volume to multiple EC2 instances at the same time? No, that's not possible. So if you want to have a shared storage, so which service do you recommend? EFS. What is the full form of EFS? Elastic File System. EFS is for which type of operating systems? Linux. And EFS is completely managed by? EFS works on which protocol? NFS version 4. What is the full form of NFS? Network File System. And same like this shared storage for Windows, what is the service that AWS is providing? FSx. This EFS is limited storage or unlimited storage? Unlimited storage. Do we need to do any pre-provision for EFS? Oh. So this EFS can be mounted to multiple EC2 instances at the same time? That too across availability zones? Okay. Then if I have a huge data and I need to transfer it to AWS, Snow Family. Snow Family is a physical data transfer or is online data transfer? Physical data transfer. And there are three devices in Snow Family. What are those? Snow Cone, Snow Edge, and Snow Mobile. And Snow Cone supports how much terabyte? 8. Wow. Snow Edge? Snow Mobile? Petabytes. Huge. And whenever you transfer the data using these devices to AWS, AWS will put all this data in which service? S3. And if I want to, I have lots of data which is not frequently used. So which service do you choose? Glacier. So can we say Glacier is used for archiving purpose? Yes. And if you want to use AWS storage services in on-premises with your private storage, which service do you do that? Storage gateway. Can we also call this is the combination of private and public storage? What is the combination of public and private? It is hybrid. Super. And then we discussed about, yes, databases. So if you want to set up a normal RDBMS database, so which service do you choose? RDS. What is the full form of RDS? Relational Database Services. RDS is a database or a database service? It's a service. In EC2, we call it as EC2 instances. In RDS, we call it as RDS DB instance. Okay. And RDS supports how many engines? What are those? MySQL, Oracle, MS SQL, MariaDB, and Aurora. So which is AWS proprietary engine? Aurora. And all these 6 database engines are RDBMS database engines? Yes. Is it possible to log into this RDS DB instance as a server? No. What do? We just need to access it through the clients. And if you want to set up NoSQL databases, which service? DynamoDB. DynamoDB is a relational databases or non-relational? Non-relational. And Which service is used for storing data warehouses? Redshift. For database migrations? DMS, database migration service. And you have a normal application in the front end. In the back end, you have RDS. So from the application, all you are accessing, the application is getting the same data again and again from RDS. So before RTS, if you want to increase the performance, so what do we do for frequently accessed data? We can cache it. So which is the service in AWS we can cache it? Elastic Cache. This Elastic Cache, if someone asks what is Elastic Cache, can we say that it is an in-memory database caching service? Yes. And database, this Elastic Cache supports how many engines? 2 engines. What are those? Redis and Memcached. Super. There is a question from Ramya. Can you please explain difference between storage gateway and Snow family? Both are completely different, correct? Snow family is a physical data transfer from your on-premises to AWS and AWS to on-premises, whereas storage gateway is still online. If you want to mount AWS storage services to your on-premises to servers, using which service that you can do that setup? Storage gateway. That the data is going through still online only, not a physical data transfer. Is that fine, Ramya? Good. That is different. Yes, you can call it as, yes, Akhil. But both are different. Don't mix it. There is no full form for FSX. Okay. So you thought yesterday was a little bit heavy, but you were able to answer all the things, no? Right? Okay, nice. So today, let's continue those services. So, Chiti, when I draw the diagram like this, what this represents? Load balancer. So you have a load balancer and you have EC2 instances, correct, Chiti? Okay, this one we know. So this is, what is this called? ELB. These are all EC2, EC2, and EC2. So load balancer will be sending the traffic to this EC2 instances. Good. So whenever you create a load balancer, how do you access the load balancer? Using DNS name, correct? Using the DNS name, or I said using the DNS name and URL, both are same. So you can access the load balancer using the URL, right? So guys, whenever you create a load balancer, AWS will give you the URL for that load balancer. You know how that URL will look like? http:// if you are given the load balancer name as mylb dot some random numbers will be there .elb dot aws.amazonaws.com. Guys, it will be like this, not even this, even more bigger. elb.ap-south-1 dot like this. Now tell me, is it recommended to give this URL to your customer to access your application? No. So do we give this kind of, so this looks very nasty. Is the URL is looking good or nasty? Nasty only, right? So I call it as nasty URL, but it is not called it as nasty URL, but please consider that URL doesn't look good, right? So will you give this nasty URL to the customers? No. So what you need to give, you need to map this nasty URL to a nice URL, correct? So now, can I map this like a boom.com, this nasty URL to boom.com, guys? I can map this nasty URL to boom.com. If someone hit boom.com, it will go to this load balancer, correct? Yes or no? Yes. So user-friendly URL, you need to give it, correct? So in which service in AWS will help you to map these URLs? In load balancer will give you the nasty URL. That's it. There is no possibility in load balancer to go and give a nice friendly URL. There is a separate service where you can give these URLs. So that service name is Route 53. What is that? Route 53. Write down. Route 53. So this Route 53, it's a DNS service from AWS. If someone asks what is Route 53, you should say Route 53 is a DNS service from AWS. Guys, please concentrate. What is Route 53? Route 53 is a DNS service from AWS. You see that there is a number called 53. What is 53 there? So DNS port number is 53. That's the reason why they call it as 53. What is 53 there? DNS port number. DNS port number is 53. That is why they call it as Route 53. So guys, can I call this as nasty URL to boom.com? These are all mappings, or can I call it as records or mappings? Can I call it as records or mapping? So Route 53 contains records. What does it contains? Records. What are those records? Records is nothing but you have the URL and your friendly URL, the nasty URL and your friendly URL. That mappings we call it as records. So in Route 53, what do we have? Records. What is Route 53? It's a DNS service from AWS. What does the Route 53 contains? Records. Is that clear? Nice. And now you know this concept already. Do you remember what is this? What is the full form of VPC? Yes. Virtual Private Cloud. So whatever resources that we create in AWS, everything should be within the VPC. Yes or no? Right? Everything what you launch an EC2 instance, you created RDS DB instance, you create everything, whatever you create a Lambda function, everything, whatever you create, it should be inside the VPC. All your resources should be inside your own VPC, correct? So VPC is regional or global? Regional. Remember, we learned this topic, right? VPC is regional. How many VPCs you can create per region? Yes, VPC is regional, and maximum 5 VPCs per region. And also this VPC, can I call it as it's like a virtual data center on the cloud? Can we call that? VPC is like a virtual data center on the cloud. It's not a physical data center. It is virtual. What about our physical on-premises data center? You have all your server, storage, database, everything inside this data center. Same thing, we have it in AWS, that is VPC. So this is virtual. So can we call it as VPC is a virtual data center? Yes. So it is like a virtual data center on AWS or on cloud. Do you remember the hypnotism diagram that I have used? So you have the top. What does the outer layer contain? AWS. Inside this, you have a region. We have a region. Inside the region, what we have? VPC. Inside the VPC, what we have? Availability zones. Inside the availability zones, you have EC2 instances. Very good. So two VPCs talk to each other by default? No. Right? So two VPCs cannot talk to each other. So if you have your, this is your AWS, let's say Mumbai region. If you take this is as a region, you take any region. Inside the region, how many VPCs you can create? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What is that, Babu? Akhil, maximum 5 VPCs per region, per account, per region. Per region. How many regions are there in our account? Now it has reached to almost 27. How many? 27, 25, 26, 27. So for in each and every region, how many maximum VPC can create? 5. So if I take a region called Mumbai, in Mumbai, how many regions you can create again? 5. So this is the VPC. VPC, 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 VPC. I have 5. So, Chiti, when you go to your AWS account, you have console, right? When you have the AWS account. AWS is providing us a default VPC. What is providing? Default VPC. Now tell me, whatever we launch, whatever we create resources, everything should be inside the VPC only? Yes. So that meaning whenever you go into the console as a first-time user, you should have a VPC. So as a first-time user, setting up the network components like VPC is easy or difficult? Difficult. For that reason, AWS is providing you a default VPC. So we'll use the default VPC and then we'll launch all our servers, everything inside the default VPC. Don't worry, we will go and create our own VPCs. But until that, we will be using default VPC. So AWS provides default VPC. AWS provides default VPC. There is a question. In Mumbai, we have 3 data centers. 5 VPCs can be created across these 3 data centers. So first of all, Apurva, stop calling data centers. What should we call it as? Availability zones. So the question should be like, we have 3 availability zones. So this VPC can be created across these 3 availability zones? Yes. Understood? So VPC itself is a big concept. So when we go deeper, we'll talk on the VPC. So here, the takeaway here is, very important thing here is default VPC. So AWS has default VPC. So every region has a default VPC. Good. Now, guys, this is your company on premises. This is your company. This is your on premises. This is your on premises. Chiti, here, see. You have the company and you have AWS. So eventually, guys, you will be working inside the company only, no? So from company, you will be connecting it to the AWS, correct? Sitting from your company, you will be connecting to the AWS to do all the stuff. Tell me, how do you connect it? Experienced people. Yes. There is a concept. So, okay, definitely we need to have internet. In order to connect from your company to AWS, you need to have internet. Yes, you need to have internet. Chitti, tell me, that internet is a dedicated internet for you or shared internet? Shared internet only, no? This is shared internet. This is shared internet. So if Airtel or Act or Jio, whichever it is that he's providing dedicated internet for you? No. So he's providing shared internet. So now in this shared internet, many people will be there. It's public. So if you are connecting from your company to the AWS using shared internet, is it secure? Is it secure? No. For that reason, your company people, what they do is, in this shared internet, they will create something called VPN. What is that? VPN, Virtual Private Network. What is that? Virtual Private Network. Virtual private network. So as the name says that it's a virtual, it's a private network. It's a private network. In your shared internet, it is a private network. So your company guys will be, what they will be doing, they'll be setting up a VPN from your company to AWS. If someone asks you this question, how you are connecting from your company to AWS, what you say? Using VPN. Using VPN. So this VPN is using shared internet or dedicated internet? Shared internet only. But there are few companies, what they say is, I want super secure. I don't want to use the shared internet. I want to connect from the company to AWS separately, dedicatedly. No shared things. I want connection from my company to AWS securely. I want my own connection. In that case, will you able to use internet providers? No, because internet providers are shared internet only. So for that reason, AWS is providing a service called Direct Connect. What is that? Direct Connect. So it is a service from AWS where using this, you can connect to the AWS directly. It's a separate, is a lease line connection. Lease line connection from AWS, from AWS, which is dedicated to your company. Yes, Apurva. So it's like a lease line connection. Tell me, your shared internet is costlier or your dedicated direct connect is costlier? You know how much it is cost? $16,000 per month. How much? Maybe increased also. $16,000 per month. It is super expensive. Don't ask me to do the demo on this. Possible to do the demo? No. Yes, very good, Apurva. Yeah. Okay. Is this clear till here, everyone? If VPN is pet, what is meant by pet? Oh, private. If VPN is private, then what is the need for a direct connect? That's what I already said. You know this answer for this? The question here is, if VPN is private, what is the need of direct connect? VPN is still private, but in the backend, it is dedicated or shared? Shared. It is shared. Using one pipe, you have so many connections inside it. So it is easily to go and do the, you have a security issues. That is still private. It still works. It is good. If you go with the VPN, it is still secure. It is super secure. I'm not saying it is not secure. But if you need to have a super high secure environment, like government projects, NASA projects, military projects, so will they take a chance of this going with the shared internet? No, they'll go with the direct connect. There are so many companies which are using direct connect as well. Okay. Good. Okay. Now, is this clear, everyone? So, again, those who are, I'm talking about the very important topic now. Again, in online, those who are lying on the beds, spreading their legs like, aram se, right? Sit properly again, and then listen this carefully. Okay. And also, this concept, you should concentrate. And after completing this concept, don't say, please come again. So because it's very hard to repeat the whole thing. So that's why in the middle, I'll ask each and every step I'll ask. Okay. So please concentrate. If you concentrate, it'll be easy. Okay. So what Sir told important topic he's playing. Any idea what are these? Huh? Regions. Very good. The first one, let's say this is Mumbai region, and this is Ireland region, and this one is Canada region. This one is US region. This one is Sydney region. This one is Tokyo region. Okay, guys. So I'm putting application in carefully. Listen this carefully. I'm putting application in Mumbai region. Where I'm putting the application? In Mumbai. So I went and launched the EC2 instance here, and I have set up the EC2, and I have set up the application here. This is EC2, and I put an application here. Now, whoever all accessing this application from Mumbai or from India, for them, they'll have a low latency or high latency. Very good. Because they are Mumbai is in India only. So now tell me, whoever all are accessing from Tokyo and from all other regions, low latency or high latency? High latency. Okay. Now question for you here is, my customers are throughout the world like this. My customers are in Ireland. My customers, I put north, west, east, south, everything I put it here. So my customers are in Ireland, Canada, US, Sydney, Tokyo, all throughout the world. But my application is in Mumbai. So those customers who are accessing from India, they'll have the low latency. But customers who are accessing throughout the region, throughout the different regions, they'll have a high latency. Tell me now, based on your knowledge, how do I provide a low latency for all the people throughout the world? Tell me, my application is in Mumbai and people started screaming everywhere. So how do I now provide them low latency? Think and tell me. Where? Share the application, you are saying. Very good. So some people are saying that to keep the application in Tokyo also, to keep the application in Ireland also, in every region you want me to keep the application? So the idea here is, my application is only in Mumbai, but I throughout the world, I need to access it. So now the solution here is, I want to take this application and keep it in all the regions, so that whoever is accessing the application from US, the application from the US, it will reply. The application I'm putting in Tokyo, if Tokyo users are trying to access it, the Tokyo application will reply. This is the ideal scenario, the solution. But the thing here is, I don't have that much budget to keep my application in all the regions. I don't have the budget to keep the application in all regions now. You understood the problem? So my application, where is my origin? In Mumbai. So can I call it as origin? Yes, this is my origin. My origin is in Mumbai, but I don't want to keep the application throughout all the regions here, but I want to have a low latency. For this kind of requirement, do you remember someone asked this in our initial days? Someone asked this question from the initial days. I told them to hold it. So this is the time. So for this requirement, AWS came up with a service called CloudFront. What's it, Chiti? CloudFront. Write down CloudFront. The name itself is saying this, CloudFront. Let's say you guys are in Tokyo. Guys, you guys are in Tokyo. You are here. You are a user here. That is a basic question, Vishal. There is a question from Vishal. Can regions communicate with each other? Regions communicate with each other? No. Right? No. Okay. So let's not get diverted. See here. So we have the user. So you guys are in Tokyo. You guys are in Tokyo and you want to access my application. My application name is, let's say, boom.com. My application name is boom.com. So here we have boom.com. And if someone is accessing boom.com, so it goes all the way here and it will come to this Mumbai and get it back and go it here to the user. And for that, you have a high latency, correct, Chiti? You will get a high latency. I'll write. These are all high latencies you have. High latency. So everyone started complaining it is having a high latency. Now, how does this CloudFront will help in this situation? The name itself is saying that CloudFront. So cloud is in front of you. How? So guys, CloudFront is a service name. There is nothing to do with it. It's a service name. In this CloudFront, we have something called edge locations. What is that? Edge locations. Every region, guys, every region has edge locations. Every region has edge locations. Chiti, what are all these? Edge locations. Everyone write down. Edge locations. All these are all edge locations. Every region will have edge location. Guys, these edge locations are completely managed by AWS. You no need to do anything. I'm just saying, Chiti, I'm just saying every region has edge locations. You know what does this edge locations will do? Edge locations will cache. What does it do? It will cache. What does it do? It will cache. All the edge locations will cache your application. Chiti, very important. All your edge locations will cache your application. By the way, first of all, edge locations are completely managed by AWS. Edge locations are completely managed by AWS. So if someone asks you what is edge location, what is the use of edge location? Can we say that it's for application caching? It is for caching purpose. Edge location meaning caching purpose. You're getting it? You're getting it? So this is through the outside. Anvesh, it is not within the VPC, within the AWS. Come outside AWS, okay? I'm talking about the application which is accessing from internet, not within the AWS, within the regions. Think from customer point of view. Okay, see here, guys. What is the service name here? CloudFront. CloudFront has what? Edge locations. What does edge locations do? Edge locations will cache your application. So AWS, guys, if you go to the CloudFront, in S3, what do you create? Buckets. In EC2, what do you create? Instant. In RDS, what do you create? Databases. Like in CloudFront, you create distribution. What do you create? Distribution. So go to CloudFront and you create distribution. What do you create today? Distribution. Distribution is nothing but all kind of configurations you need to give. All kind of configurations you need to give. So in CloudFront, for this distribution, you need to give where is your origin? Where is our origin? Mumbai. Origin is nothing but, can I call this is my ELB is my origin? Obviously, where is your application will be accessed? Through the load balancer only, no. So can I say origin is my ELB? Now tell me, which is the AWS services where I can deploy my application? Which are all the other AWS services? One is EC2, that meaning ELB. What are the other services where I can deploy my applications? One is Beanstalk. Very good. Another one? Lightsail one. And in Lambda, do we host the application? No. Then there is one more service. There is one more service where you can put your application. S3. In S3, we put our static applications, static websites. Yes or no? We put our static website, no? So your origins can be ELB, your origins can be S3, your origins can be Lightsail, your origins can be like anything here. Yes. So here, while creating a distribution, you need to give origin details. Your origin. You need to give your origin. Your origin meaning your ELB, S3, etc. Where is your application? You need to provide. Chitty, okay? While creating the distribution, you need to give all this information. Okay, now, while creating a distribution, Chitty here. While creating a distribution, it will ask, which are the countries where you want to cache your application? Okay. Okay, anyways, so while creating a distribution, while creating a distribution, you need to select the origin, that is ELB or S3. And also there is another configuration that you need to select, that in which countries you need to cache your application. In which country? So AWS is not giving the countries, it is giving the continents. So which continents you want to cache your application? Is it US, Europe, Asia? In which? So basically, if you give those details like US, Europe, Asia, like this, etc. If you provide the details like this, AWS will go and cache your application in all the edge locations automatically. You're getting it? Edge location, this CloudFront, this AWS, what it does it is, if you provide the continent details, hey, please cache my application in Europe. So it will go to the Europe, in Europe, whatever the regions they have, so it will go and cache the application in all the edge locations. You're getting it? So can I say that, hey, don't cache it for Asia? Can I say that? Yes. That is called geo restrictions. What is it called? Geo restrictions can also be applied. You can say that this country, I don't want to cache it, or I don't want to use the application. So from Japan, I don't want the application to be used. So you can go ahead and then set up the geo restrictions here. Got it? You're getting it? I'm repeating it. See. Answer my questions, guys. What is the service name here? CloudFront. What does the CloudFront contains? Speak out. What does that contains? Edge location. What is that? Edge locations. What does the edge locations do? Caching purpose. Edge location is for caching purpose. So I told you the service name and I told you the edge locations. I should tell how to configure it, right? So which is the service where I need to go and configure? CloudFront. So go to CloudFront. So like in S3, we create a bucket. In EC2, we create EC2 instances. In RDS, we create databases. Like the same way in CloudFront, what do we create? Distribution we create. While creating a distribution, we need to set up the parameters, no? So while creating the distribution, I need to tell, Babu, where is my origin? Origin is my Mumbai ELB. Or origin is my S3, because that there is my application. And also I can provide the details saying that, right? I can provide the details like in which continents I can cache my application. I can cache my application. You got this? So now, how does AWS will cache the application from here to all your edge locations using a concept called CDN? What is that? Content Delivery Network. Guys, AWS has to put all your application. AWS has to cache your application to all the edge locations. No. Will it use AWS will use internet to cache your application through all the edge locations? No. What does it using? Which network it is using? CDN it is using. What is that? CDN it is using. CDN it is using. Okay, question for you. Which is the component is used to cache your application? Edge location, correct? Edge location is the place where you can cache application. AWS will use which network? CDN. You no need to do anything on CDN. CDN is just a name. How does AWS is sending the application, the data through internet? Through internet will send it, guys? No, because it will be very slow. No. So AWS has its own network. What is that network called? CDN. What is it? The name itself is says Content Delivery Network. Your content will be delivered using this network. Content Delivery Network. All your application will be cached to the edge location using what network? CDN. Simple. Okay. Now question here is, sir, how much time will it get cached? Let's say, for example, guys, there is a concept called TTL. What is that? TTL. Time to live. For example, I'm writing, for example, I have given the TTL as 12 hours today. That meaning your application will be cached in your edge location for how many hours? 12 hours. So let's say, for example, in my application, I have puppy.jpg. One photo is there. This will be cached in all my edge locations. Yes or no? Yes, it will be. For how long it will be cached? 12 hours. 12 hours is the example I'm saying. Can you increase it? Can you decrease it? It's up to you. Now, all of a sudden, I don't want puppy.jpg. I want apple.jpg. Apple. I want to put apple instead of puppy. So if I update this apple.jpg in my application, can you tell me this apple.jpg will be updated immediately in my edge locations? Can apple.jpg will be available to my customers immediately? Yes or no? Why? Because it is cached for how many hours? 12 hours. After 12 hours only, your edge location will get the latest data from here to here. That is the TTL. TTL meaning for how much time you want to cache your application. You're getting it? You're getting it? Right? Okay, now let's say that, no, sir. Let's say, for example, in Amazon.in, in the website, the phone, let's say iPhone. I'm telling the TTL only. So you have an application, Macha. Okay, you have an application which is you have an application where in that application you have a photo of iPhone saying that this is for 10,000, and you deployed it, and you put the TTL as 12 hours, and all your customers will be seen. Is that visible to your customers? Your iPhone is, you are selling the iPhone for 10,000 rupees. Is that correct? Is that correct? Your iPhone will be for 10,000 rupees. Is that correct? No, now what you want to do? Array, not this 10,000. I need to put 1 lakh there. So I need to immediately do it. I need to immediately update it. If you go and update it in application, will that be updated in your application immediately? Because the TTL is 12 hours. It will not be updated immediately. You need to wait for how many hours? 12 hours. So if you want, but you want to, is it possible to wait for 12 hours in this case? No, because you get an orders, correct? So there is a concept called here invalidate cache. What is it, Chitti? Invalidate cache. Using this invalidate cache, what you can do is you can invalidate it. That meaning you can forcefully go and push your data to the edge locations. It's detailed by us, Vishal. So all your data is cached based on the TTL. Agree? It will be cached based on the TTL. Agree? So where do we need? We need to configure all these edge locations using CloudFront. In CloudFront, we need to, while creating the distribution, you need to configure all these TTL values. Where is your origin? Which content, which continent that you want to cache? All these things you need to configure while you're creating the distribution, guys. Shubham, S3 is global service, but buckets, where do you create? In that case, your bucket is regional, right? In that case, you got to know the question now, answer for that. Guys, you're getting it? Are you with me? I'll repeat it in very simple way now. Guys, see here. Chitti, here. So I have an application in Mumbai region. Chitti, I have my application. I'm repeating this again. See here. I have my application in Mumbai region. I have my application in Mumbai region. Those who are accessing my application within India, they'll have a what kind of latency they have? Low latency. One by one we'll go. Low latency. Good. So now I have my customers from Ireland, Tokyo, Sydney, US, from different places. I have my customers. For all of them, all the way from their Tokyo, they are accessing my Mumbai application. For them, it will be high latency or low latency. You understood the problem now? One solution here is you take your Mumbai application and replicate that Mumbai application in all the regions where your customers has. But I don't have that much budget. Your company will say that I don't have that much budget. So in that case, so I don't want to replicate my applications, but I want to give a low latency for my customers. How? Using which service? Using which service? CloudFront. So we have decided the service name is CloudFront. What is CloudFront? We'll see. So CloudFront has what? Edge locations. These edge locations are completely managed by AWS. Do we go and create edge locations? Do we go and log into edge locations? Do we use the edge locations? We don't do anything. We will just using CloudFront, we will just tell Babu, I have my application, please put it into all edge locations. Boom, click it. That's it. In CloudFront, what do we create? In CloudFront, what do we create? Distribution. So while creating a distribution, you need to give all this information. What information you need to give? You need to give, like, where is your origin application? Mumbai. Or in Mumbai, you can put it your application in S3, or you can put your application in ELB. You can put it in anywhere you can put it. So you need to tell to CloudFront, no, where is your application? So that is called my origin. I'll give the origin details to my distribution. And also I can say that which edge locations I want to cache. You can give all throughout the world. You can give only Europe. You can give only US. You can give only Asia you can give. Depend upon your requirement, you need to select. And also, you need to give the TTL value. So you need to, while creating the distribution, you need to give the TTL value. What is TTL value? Time to live. Time to live meaning how much time your application should be cached in the edge locations. All this information you need to give while creating the distribution. Once you create the distribution, boom, and submit. And what it does it in the backend, it will take, you have given the origin details, no? It will go to that origin, it will collect the application data, and it will start distributing, replicating to all the edge locations. Will you do that? AWS will do it. We just need to configure it. We will just give it. So this CloudFront will distribute your application, will cache the application through entire edge location. Using what network it will cache? Using CDN. What is CDN? Content Delivery Network. Your content is delivered using this network that is called CDN. Now you understood now? Now you understood? Everyone clear? So whenever you create a load balancer, does the load balancer will give a nasty URL? Whenever you create a edge location, whenever you create a CloudFront distribution, it will give also a nasty CloudFront URL. Okay, now, Mr. Preetham, I don't know, first, when did you join this course? Since how many days you have joined? Okay. I seriously recommend you to go with all my previous videos. Okay. So guys, everyone, did we had a deal that we are just going with the overview of the services and then we do the practicals? So let's be, are we still on that? So let's go with the overview first, and then we'll take each and every service and we'll do the practicals. So I know when to show the practicals. So do not be hurry. As I said, trust, just believe me. Okay. Just blindly believe me. Okay. So this CloudFront cache your static and dynamic data as well. That is a certification question. So CloudFront cache, static and dynamic data. Guys, so you should know what kind of data should be cached. Let's say you have all the reports. You know, some business intelligence tools will be there, no? Where it will collect the reports and all, reporting and all. All these reports will be changed. Yes, Power BI and all. Reports will not be changed quickly, right? All this data, dynamic data will be stored, will be cached automatically in edge locations. Let's say, for example, I have a Power BI. Power BI meaning one small application where it loads millions of data. I created a report. Let's say, for example, today in class, let's say we have 1,000 people. I need the details of this 1,000 people. I'm accessing this application from Tokyo. Let's say I don't have CloudFront. I open my application called boom.com, right? And I open that report called show me the details of all my 1,000 students. I don't have CloudFront and I'm accessing it from Tokyo. Will it be slow or speed? Obviously slow, na? Obviously slow, right? So by the time I open it, it will be ring. It will loading, because it has to get the data all the way from Mumbai. Correct? Now to resolve this issue, what the service that I need to implement? CloudFront I need to implement. So if I implement CloudFront, I need to create the distribution. I need to create a distribution. I need to tell the origin details. Babu, the origin details is in Mumbai, my ELB. That is my origin. Please cache it. You open the CloudFront service, create a distribution, select all the configuration, boom. And your CloudFront will go and cache to all the edge locations. Now I am the user from Tokyo. Now I open boom.com. I open the report. As the CloudFront is configured there, my request will go to Mumbai or my request will go to this edge location here. edge location will reply back to me, not the Mumbai. It will be speed. How is the performance at the time? It will be speed, correct? Will it go to Mumbai? No, because the application is cached in the edge location. Edge location will respond. Edge location will respond. Is this clear now? So using this CloudFront, so don't worry, we go and do the practicals also, but using this, you understood what is this CloudFront used for? To provide the low latency across the globe, you have to use CloudFront. If TTL exceeds some path, the data will be retrieved from the application again, and it will store for next 12 hours. Is it clear? So can I say that CloudFront has edge locations, correct? CloudFront has edge locations, and edge locations are connected with yes, CDN. Chiti, one question for you here. Whenever you hit your application, which is the first service will it hit first? I hit boom.com. When I hit boom.com, which is the first service in AWS will hit first? Route 53. Because mappings are where? Route 53 only, no? First it will hit Route 53. In Route 53, mappings will be there, no? Your ELB. So boom.com will know to the load balancer, no? Load balancer has the nasty URL. So Route 53 has this mapping. So whenever you hit boom.com, first it will go to and hit which service? Route 53. Route 53 will say that, oh, boom.com meaning this nasty URL. Nah? Now it will route it to the load balancer. Got it? So from Route 53, so so here, whenever you hit boom.com, where does it go? It'll go and hit Route 53. And Route 53 has what details? Boom.com meaning ELB nasty URL. Then it will go to the ELB. Correct, Chiti? The mappings will be like this. In this CloudFront, if you are using CloudFront, how does the look like? Boom.com will hit Route 53. In Route 53, boom.com should be mapped to where? It should be mapped to ELB or it should map to CloudFront nasty URL. Yes, it got for the CloudFront nasty URL. And when it goes to CloudFront nasty URL, CloudFront nasty URL has the information of where is the origin. Where is the origin? Origin is the ELB only, no? Mumbai ELB only, no? So this CloudFront will send it to origin, either ELB or S3. So like this, we can configure the CloudFront and make our users globally to have a low latency for our application. Nasty meaning I've already told it. So whenever you create, guys, whenever you create a load balancer, so will it give a nice URL for you? It gives like this. You might have missed this one. This is nothing but nasty. I call it as nasty URL. Okay. This URL looks good for you, Akshay? No, right? That's why I call it as nasty URL. That's why the mappings will be done where? In Route 53. Yes. Yeah. Is it clear? Any questions? So simply remember, I understand this is a little bit complicated, but remember, static meaning where the content will not change, dynamic meaning which has the database in the backend where the content changes all the time. Mishra, that's for you. Guys, so CloudFront is used to reduce the latency across the globe. Simple. But I went a little bit more deeper inside it and made you clear the logic behind it. So do we need to worry about all these things? What is happening in the backend? No need. You just need to go to CloudFront, create a distribution, select the origin, hit enter. That's it. You will get the low latency. Yes. Thank you, Sufyan. Take the screenshots. So that's what I said. So, Shubham, S3 is global, but we can create the buckets in regional. That's why the buckets are regional. But how, when we go to deeper into S3, we'll discuss there. Excellent. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the next topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and see you tomorrow. Good night.